Hi, how's everyone doing? And today we'll be looking at some of the basics of 3ds Max. Here you are, here you see each four windows of the software. So we got top view, so you can see the top of the object you're modeling. Front view, left view, this can be changed to right, but it's basically the same thing. Unless you're working on two sides, then that's fine. You can go over here, right here. Oops, can't do that. Right here, click that, and go right. I like to press the shortcuts for this. So as you can see, once we get to cameras, you'll be able to switch to cameras. But right now, and then this is perspective, obviously. So we have a perspective view, orthographic view, top, bottom, front, left, back, and then right. And the quick ways to switch to this is by pressing F for front, T for top, as you see it change, left for left, obviously, and then there's no for bottom, I believe. Yeah, oh no, B is for bottom, my mistake. And then yes, and then we use the back, but that front and back, you know, basic. So I'm gonna switch that to front again by pressing F. There we go, beautiful. And this is the perspective view. You can look your object from a perspective here. Pretty basic. And then let me put an object real quick. So I'm just gonna put a basic box. I'm gonna switch to my top view so I can do it properly. You make a square or rectangle, your choice. You click it, right? Left click, and then when to release it, you can adjust the height. So obviously you can't see this in top view, but you see it happening in your front, left, and perspective view. And I'm not holding anything. I let go of the left click. I'm just moving my mouse to adjust the height and depth. So that one seems good to me, and that's it. Make sure to go up here, or I press W, but go up here where you see these directions, and now you can move your object. Now in case I didn't do that, let me show you again. Move your box up. If I did not do that and try to move object, I'm gonna make another one, right? We don't want that unless you want to make objects in quick succession. I usually press W like that. Um, some more basics. Just let's make a box again. Make it, yep, that seems good. W, and then here you can move it on the x-axis on the top. Remember, you will not see anything on the left view because you're moving it on the top, and you'll see it on the front because it's moving left and right. But you won't see it on the left view because if you look at it three-dimensionally, it's moving forward and backwards on the left screen. So it's not gonna go, it's not gonna come closer. It's not gonna go away from us. It's a little bit weird to think about at first, but yes, top view. You can move up and down. Here you see it moving obviously, but you won't see it moving in the front view. Okay, base X, because if you think about it three-dimensionally, this is moving towards us on the top view. And just like that, if you move it left around, you see it moving there, but if you do it top and down, we won't see it moving on top view, right? Pretty basics, but you can see everything move in the perspective view because you'll be looking at it from a perspective. Okay, that's the basics. Some more. So if you go select and rotate, I usually press E. As you can see, it tells you E. If I go away from it and click it, it says rotate E. So click your object, and you can change it on its axes like that. If I do this, it's doing it, yep, basic stuff. You got the Y x-axis, and then you got the axis to change around like that. Cool. As you see, I can get that cube back to the position it was at before. I'm doing that with Control Z. Pretty basic. You do it in Word, you do it in other softwares like that. Yep. Oh, I went in full screen by mistake. There we go. That was Control X, by the way. I don't usually do that. I like to stay in this mode, but you can go if you want to be immersed fully in the software by clicking Control X. Okay, back to the object at hand. Let me just do Control Z of anything I might have done to it. Go, and then we're back. Cool. And this is the scaling one. I believe R is the shortcut for this. Yes. So we got E for scaling, W for moving it, and R for scaling. It's pretty easy. W, E, R, they're right next to each other. Now R lets us scale it. So by scaling, I mean scale it down, scale it smaller. Um, this one again, it scales it. As you can see, it keeps the height the same, but it's scaling the overall, volume of it. That made sense at all. My bad. And this scales literally everything. This scales height, depth, all three dimensions. This only on Y, as you can see, and only on X. I assume this perspective view must be helping quite a lot to understanding this, if my commentary is bad. Oh, I by mistake switched to Scene Explorer. Now, Scene Explorer is a quite useful tool. Um, I didn't want to go into it, but it went there, so might as well. So Scene Explorer lets you do a couple of things. If you have, say, let me go in Command Panel, box, made another one, made another one, made another one, cool, cool, right? So we have so many objects, right? It can get confusing. Scene Explorer lets you hide objects, right? So how do you see they're not there? If you want something to stay in place, you don't want to think about it, you're done working on it, hide it. Because it'll stay there, it'll be unchanged. Uh, hit everything. Yep, that's the little eye symbol you see right next to them. And then you have the freeze option as well. Freeze option, basically, you can't move it at all. Sorry, I mean, yep, sorry. Freeze option doesn't let you do anything to the object. You can still see it, right? But I won't be able to, like, no, not bad. I guess you can. Who knew? You learn something every day. Um, but yes, usually I use freeze option. Oh no, never mind. I remember what freeze option does. Sorry, I'm supposed to be the teacher. I don't remember. So okay, so I'm gonna try to find better examples for this. So let me do this. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly make another cube here. Okay, say you're working on a complex model, right? Hold on a minute. Okay. Say you're working on a complex model, you have two things close together and like, oh no, I don't know which one to click. That's a very bad example, but later on you will find these symbols. Yeah, I don't know which one to click. Go into your Scene Explorer, or you can right click, you freeze it, and then during that, if you're working on anything there, related to anything there, you see, I can't click on that object anymore. I'm trying to click it in the perspective view, but I can't. That's what freeze mode does. And I'm quite surprised it didn't do that before because that's what I was trying to tell you guys. But yeah, that's what freeze does. You can't click on it anymore. It's there. It's in place. It's same as hide, but maybe you want a reference image, which we'll go into later, and you want it to be in the background, right? So yeah. Let's unfreeze that and let's delete that. Delete is simple. Delete key on your keyboard, and we're back onto our box. You may see other object types here. You see a sphere, pretty basic, right? Just draw a sphere. Cylinder, again, pretty basic. You draw a circle, and then you let go of your left key, and you get the depth in. All right, get the perspective view out a little bit. And then torus, might not seem obvious, but it is the donut shape, right? I'll just do that again. I make the donut, and then let go to do the depth and the whatnot. Like that. See? Like that. Cool. We'll just let it say that. Teapot is a 3ds Max only object. You don't need to do like anything to it. It'll just appear there for you. It's much like the monkey in Blender. If any of you use the monkey in Blender, but see, and you have a teapot here, right? Um, Cone, we have a cone, pretty basic. You do a circle, you do this, and then it's 3-step off a cone, right? Because you gotta think about 2 things. I'll do it again here, and just watch the front view. So I draw the circle, I get the height. It's a cylinder right now, but we need to make it a cone. So like, I should be explaining what I'm doing as I go. So we make a circle, left click clicked, right? Then we let go, get the height, and then we click it again, right? We click it again. Just click, not hold, click. Move it left to right, however you want it. Open a closed cone. There we go, we have that cone. Geosphere is a much more complex sphere. It has, as you can see, it has a much more complex triangular shape, whereas the sphere we have over here, we have squares. Squares are much easier to work with in 3ds Max. You have 4 vertex spots, which we'll go into later. Triangles are much harder. That's just the way it is. They're more complex. They add more depth. They add more precision to the sphere. If you do these side by side, you will see how the square, right? You can clearly see is giving us the illusion that it's a sphere, but in reality, it's straight lines. They're not curved. Whereas this is also straight lines, but when we compare, our eyes seem to think this is more like a sphere than that. Next, we have a tube. There we go. Just the depth of the tube. If you just want a no depth donut shape, right? And then you have that. There you go. That is a tube. With perspective will be more helpful. Basically a sphere, but with a hole in the middle. Tube shape. Pyramid. Here we are. Make a square, right? Put it up, and then we have a prisma. Oh, prisma, pyramid. You know what it is. And then plane. Pretty simple. Just a plane. Nothing else. Just a plane. And those are the most basic standard primitive, may I use the language, of models in 3ds Max, which you can blend into later. That'll do for the first tutorial of 3ds Max. I'll see you guys for the next one. Thanks for watching.